And welcome to round 3 of the ANU chess tournament. Games are 60 minutes plus 30 seconds. Mathematical KM, remember their initials, not a title. Keith Malumbi. And after losing a winning endgame in round 1, in round 2, setting up a very promising attack in the start of the middle game, and the computer telling me 12 times to pull the trigger and not doing it. I, of course, pull a victory from the game I perhaps should not have won. But that's, you lose what you're meant to win and win what you're meant to lose. Let's have a closer look. And of course I knew that I'd been too timid and in not pulling the trigger in round 2. So I thought this will be an aggressive Hippo. It's looking a lot like a London, and we can whip through the first 10 moves. Most of you guys have been watching my videos unless there's anything super stopping the setting up of the full thick-skinned Hippo. And even that, there we go. And it's a little unusual, and it perhaps does come back to bite me that I don't do anything about that initially or soon enough. So this is the moment, the thinking moment after you got it set up, the breather. Computer likes G5, it even gives an edge to black because it comes with tempo and played, so nicely done. And back it goes. And not sure if I played this, but it's the standard move from Solomon's course, so slap my wrist if I didn't. You're meant to bring a knight in behind the pawn that you've advanced, not in front. And not even sure what I was thinking with that going there, because that's +1 to white. And the move from the course is minus 0.15 to black with the standard placement of that advancing knight. But okay, so we haven't gone quite to the right place. He develops his queen. Here come the pawns. Maybe I was thinking charge after not charging enough last time. And we actually have got a small advantage going here. But that's a move that would not have affected me had the knight been on G6. But even now, knight to H6 is still an advantage to black. Anything else is 2.5 or worse advantage to white. I needed to find discretion to be the better part of valor here and move that knight back behind those pawns to help those pawns go forward. What did I find? A bit of craziness, thinking if he takes me, I'll take him, then I'm threatening his queen, and it's can't have been thinking too much because I wouldn't want to be taking that back. In fact, I couldn't if that queen's still there. Maybe I was thinking the queen won't be still there because it will have taken this pawn, and if it doesn't, then maybe the pawn can go again. But it was just a little bit of craziness. The bull seeing red. Now will his queen take my pawn? His knight takes my pawn, which is a much better move. And this pawn is pinned to my king. I spend a fair amount of time trying to build something around my trapped king in the middle. So let's just go through it. It's already plus 2.6 to white. Okay, that was one of the problems, was that knight was being pinned to the king by the bishop. So let's solve that. So the bishop moves away. But of course, now it's pawn, bishop and queen on my e-pawn. And all I've got is the f-pawn in support at this point in time. This is not good. So this makes a degree of sense. Let's take the knight, and the queen's probably going to take the bishop, and that's one less piece attacking my e-pawn. So far so good. And it's up to 5.5 here. Now move the pawn forward. We've got 1, 2, 3 defenders, and currently only 2 attackers. A moment of respite. Okay, now we've got 1, 2, 3 attackers, 3 defenders. Let's add another defender. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. 1, 2, 3 attackers. 4 attackers. 4 attackers, 4 defenders. E5 is feeling like a very important pawn. I am starting to build something in front of the king. But it's, you know, still plus 4.8. Very discombobulated. 5 defenders. Of course, it's a bit risky having the queen as one of them in front of the king. Don't want that rook to pin the queen to the king. Brings another pawn down and get out of dodge. At the moment, there's no queen coming here and just saying checkmate. It's on the wrong line. And before it can, I'll probably move my queen across. And the knight's being pinned to the king. And the king, even though the queen can't get there at the minute, is stopping what potentially in the past would have been a checkmating move. So move the king. Still plus 5.1, so we're struggling here. He pulls the trigger. Take back. He takes. Yes. I mean, the bishop is in the way of the queen, and it could easily take the knight. So it's potential that's going to lose there, but at least the king's not right at the back. And I'm not sure. Knight takes e5 is the best move now, and it will have pulled it back to 3.5. I saw this, it's a check, and it puts the queen inside of the pawn as well. But that's like plus 5.1. It's not as good as the knight taking it. He moves his king. Got the bishop out of the way because the queen was on it and the bishop was hanging. Brings a rook lining up on my poor knight. So it's got 2 attackers and only 1 defender for my knight. So let's take the pawn with the knight. Sure, but he's not going to go down that exchange. He may not want to go down that exchange. And, you know, that's ended up being quite a reasonable move. We've pulled it back to 3.3. Bishop onto queen. Let's pull the queen back here. It's up to 4.3. That was a good move. Not really forcing enough, I don't think. And it's pulled it back to 2.8 because it gives me a chance to take the initiative. Initiative taken. He takes back. He takes me. And now we're at plus 3. We were at plus 5 and worse. Okay, let's see how bad the computer thought that move. Queen to G. Oh, bringing the queen down to force a trade of queens here. It liked at plus 2.9. But it doesn't like me saying, well, it'll be checkmate unless you put your queen here. And this is a chance for me to pull it from that plus 3 basically back to equality. It wants queen d3 check, blocks with the queen, grab a pawn. So that's still leaving him with the bishop pair and a queen, which is quite dangerous, but trying to get in front on, or at least equalise the material with the pawns and fighting from there. And it looks like that was the better plan. And sometime during the week I might play this one, practice versus the computer from this move. But just in reducing the lethality of queens working with bishops, I saw that I could check and take a pawn, but I just said, let's get the ladies off. And that takes it back to plus 2.9 for white. He's got the bishop pair. I don't. And he's got one more pawn. 2.9 to white. I guess it makes sense. As far as knights go, it's a protected knight. Doing just about as good a job as a knight can do. So we keep struggling. Let's get that pawn forward, because otherwise I can't, or would be unlikely to be able to move my king in. So that's the path for moving the king. He's developing his king. Here comes my king. Okay, he's got the bishop on the shooting at the knight. I don't think he's going to want to drop the bishop pair. And if I can line up my bishop with his bishop to get a pair of bishops off, then it's going to be a lot closer to equal. So in the hopes of getting the dark squared bishops off, I mean, he could take my knight with it, I don't think he will. I'll move my bishop down here, hoping to, manoeuvre the king and the bishop and maybe get something happening there with that. And it shows you how easy. He had the winning endgame with the +3. He's moved the bishop there to target my isolated pawn over there. My heart goes out because I lost 2 games that I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but didn't. Definitely had chances. Especially the first one in the end game, and the second one with the good pull the trigger attack on move 19, which I didn't touch. But he's hung that light squared bishop. And from there, it kind of is, as they say, a matter of technique. Let's just go through it quickly. He got a pawn for the piece. So what are we going to do? And he's got a dark bishop, and most of my pawns are on light squares already, so that's already bad. And it's even in the way of the pawn that I've just targeted with the knight. He checked me, and now I've got the bishop lined up with my bishop. There we go. So I've got the only minor piece. He does have 2 more pawns, 2 pawns worth the piece. Trying to protect that F pawn, but we take. He goes forward, so we take. He goes forward, we can't take, but we can bring the king. Check. King behind the pawn. I can take that. If he leaves my g-pawn by enough, then I can queen it. And if he stays near it, it's probably not the most efficient way, but if there's a win, now he can't stop these pawns coming down, and he's shaken my hand at that point. So yeah, in a very real sense, games 1 and 2, I definitely had my chances for the big win. And this game, I probably should not have won, but nevertheless did. And with a bit of endgame technique. There you go. I think I still need that new endgame course that the Chess Giant's bringing out. The overall, he played at 74 to my 80. 85, 85.1, 85.4. So in all 4 games, this is one nice thing, I have won the accuracy battle of the openings. And that's going to, he beat me in the middle game there, obviously. And in the end game, significant win, but that's mostly going to be cleaning up with that knight after his unfortunate little mistake there. But yeah, so the win that shouldn't have been, but we'll take it.